Hello, Divine Feminine, to a timeless reading of yours. You may be here because something within the title intrigued you, or you're here because you caught a vibe and seeing whether or not anything within the storytelling time is yours. Please bear in mind a few other details while we get ready for the reading. I am Master Seventh, aka Seventh, that reads these energies for you, should you want to know who she is, what she is all about, and what I have to offer. There are details within the description box below. However, for some insight, I am a master healer that provides remote wellness and tarot intuitive insights. Remember that what it means to be divine feminine includes feminine and masculine energies, which are non-gender specific. And use your discernment to travel the reading and take all of that which belongs to you, leave the rest behind, for remember, this is not a one-to-one connection. Okay? Remember that within the description box below, I have other various forms of links on how to navigate this channel and gain access to my sister channel. All right, damn. All right, Divine Feminine. We're starting with the Page of Swords, the Death card, High Priestess, and the Strength card. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, so. Ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between and beyond, what does it mean to live in truth? You may benefit of listening out to the collective Do You Remember reading. You can find that via the playlists. There is a big back off, don't fucking do what it is that you're thinking of doing energy coming through here with these major arcanas. Death card is putting a halt at whatever it is that you're deciding on doing. This energy isn't about answering to a cause or a narrative, showing up to the masses. Getting chills. It's not about showing up to the masses. Follow any good yogi of your interests or a prophet or a master healer and discern on your own how they all more or less understand being amongst the masses isn't the path of a divinity. And if you're wondering what divinity is, the question is your divinity, which is then not a question, it's a statement. So most individuals think that to stand up for a cause is to be fulfilled within the human experience. According to this energy, according to these major arcanas, no. Again, you may benefit from listening out to that reading, all right? The collective Do You Remember reading. You're meant to listen out to other messages. You're meant to ask questions with your mouth closed and reach the answers while your mouth is also closed. At best, when your eyes are closed too. That's where you should show up. That's what it means to respect the energies of this channel. Showing up in a world where it's quiet, where you're not speaking. Showing up in a world where your eyes are closed, you call it resting. Ether says, you've gone home. And some of you are so afraid of going home, have uncomfortable sleeps, inundated with so much shit while you're going to sleep, and you're wondering what it is. And in a waking day, you think it's normal to have that disruption when you go to sleep. And Ether's trying to fucking tell you, no, it ain't fucking normal. You came from darkness. You were cell by cell by cell by cell created in a beautiful way in darkness. And you're afraid to go back to that source? That's an injury to Ether. It's an injury to Ether. That's where Ether takes that shit personal. With the 9 of Wands, the Ether has feelings too. This isn't your energy. You're showing up because you're the wounded warrior. Yet Ether is confused why you feel that you're the wounded warrior. 6-11. Page of Pentacles. You want to be larger. You're showing up small. Why are you showing up small if Ether made you large? Someone needs to trim their bamboo garden or some shit like that. Change out the water in your bamboo. This is so loud. Tower and the Wheel of Fortune. Divine Feminines. You have a responsibility. And that responsibility is to yourself. And more you. And more you. And if you're still getting pinged about how it's somebody else's problem, or if you're thinking about somebody else's feelings, or you're guilty because of something else, or whatever, that's not worrying about you. You need to prioritize you, and more of you. Well, how do we do that? What do you like to do? What have you put off? What do you keep telling yourself you don't have time for because you have so many responsibilities? You yourself maybe be a mommy. You decided to be in that role, and maybe they're part of the excuse. They cannot be that excuse. You're the existence. You're the example. In their world, you're the saint. The saint can't have excuses. But let me tell you, saints are very fucking selfish. Let me tell you that. Very selfish. And some people are like inundated with the fact that they're selfish because they themselves are selfish with that energy. You have all the statues here, din, 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 din. I need this. And let me knock. Hello? How many of y'all do know somebody who's inundated with a bunch of statues of saintly archangel energy, and that individual, maybe it's you, I'm sorry, I don't know. Or maybe you know this person, I don't know. But how many of them? How many of them can you count are shit people? How many? If you're leaning a little bit to one degree, it's at least one fucking person. If y'all taking this personal, you might want to remember Bastet. Sekhmet is who the reader's 7th reads for. And pretty much most of the information found that's left behind by human creation, human remembrance, is a fickle truth. A very fickle truth. You don't know if it's real truth. It's a functioning. But amongst all truths, people are still trying to get the root of that, which then means, we're looking for honesty. Okay. If you're looking for honesty, how are you going to show up? How are you going to show up to honesty? How are you going to do it, Divine Feminine? That's an answer. That's a question that already has the answer within it. It's within you. It's within what you may know of this energy, the Six of Cups, its memories, its recollection. It is reconciling with yourself, reconciling with another. However, once you reconcile with yourself, you've reconciled with another. Just the bits and pieces of the little crevices could be kinked out and ironed out where you, should you need to approach, or the approaching comes from the individual that you think in your mind's eye and convincing, in your heart brain of convincing, in your gut instinct of convincing, that you need to show up to them and dictate closure. That's a desire of human. Not a need, according to Ether. Once you've convicted it for yourself, it's a done deal. Done deal. But because of independent free choices and free will, you might see that person walk down the park one day because you walk your doggy one day and, oh, look, there's a meetup. That wasn't the universe doing. We call those moments coincidences. And then we dabble more longer into thinking of what that coincidence was. We think it's perfect, and then all of a sudden it is the ether's doing. On this very same thing. So what is that? What does that mean? It's a contradiction. The human side figuring all this out. This is all the minor arcanas. All the human story of trying to figure out their journey of abundance and sustenance, law of attraction. How do they get their answers when they feel bruised and need a wake-up call? The Six of Cups, of reconciliation and harmony, of distrust and betrayal and love and bliss and beauty. Bringing it forth to themselves and others. Bringing the truth in the way the reading began. That's all formed by the connection you have with the only major arcana on this side, more or less, the Chariot. Your connection of the feminine energy of duality within that vortex of you being the vessel of both feminine and masculine energy, vibing with the ether's feminine and masculine energy, figuring it all out for yourself. Yet the immediate dance that you have with your ego is being put as a death stop. Something needs to change drastically. It's in queue of the answers being found via your emotions. Your third eye that needs to remember where you come from via the belly button of your own creation as a feminine creator or feminine being, whether you're masculine or feminine bodied, doesn't matter, goes home to the high priestess, understands that within that realm, they've ruptured their knowing of duality that they are contended to be connected with over here in the first place. And maybe this is interrupting, thus creating an eruption of Kundalini, all because you traveled the world. However that meant for you. That's free will. That's free will. Yet is it sovereignty? All these pages, no kings. There's a knight. And we have the Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and now the Page of what? Cups? You're spiritually matured. That's how you are the Knight of Pentacles. The ether sees you. Ether also says that you're the grounded individual within the things that you think you don't maybe think you need or know you need. Like, you're grounded in the approach. Where you're beginning, where you began, where you are, you want to try to show up for something, that being part of that narrative is not going to fix the reason why every individual wants that narrative to be fixed. Ether has enough of that. Ether doesn't need more chaos of humans gathering together and saying, I need this. This has been going on for echelons of time. I mean, decades, centuries, going on for time. Some of them are like, whew. Some of these masses of people. Some of them it's for a purpose. The other, all of them are a purpose, but some of them is a good purpose, a bad purpose. You know? But yet, why all of a sudden is there a herding of masses saying that they want a problem to be fixed? When each individual you lean closer is a fucking problem. So would it be wrong to say that the masses is a collection of masses of negative energy? Which then is more weight to the matter than what it means to take all that and bring it into the light that you're asking to receive. Cool. We wonder as humans why ether could be pissed. But we have brutal wake-up calls. Why? We're sole proprietors of this lifetime that is not even contended on caring who the individual is that produced us. Did we know through the light of the magic of the galaxy? We did. We did. We can't go in that in that aspect of denial, even if we're dark and bruised and do everything tasteless towards according to society. There's an undeniable deniability you never go to. You might be sad, you might be injured, you might be fucked up, and you might be fucked people over. You might be the one doing the fucking over to other people. But there's never deniability within now. Isn't that interesting? Everyone is victorious in their own manifestation skills. Everyone has in their own way, a savior within their bubble. And knowing that their journey and their connection with that savior is however the pendulum of righteousness and desire gets met, and how the ether plays with options. Whether that person, 2 people, 3 people come, whether it's a 1-person date, a 3-people date, a polyamorous situation, and one a monogamous situation, an asexual situation. I mean, the options are ridiculous. But not ridiculous bad, like you may think it is. It's ridiculously fucking good. Because that's all part of why this energy in the other channel is fucked up for me as a reader. But in this energy of a reading, that's exactly the cause of why there's a liking to needing to be afraid of emotional redemption, because you think it's deceitful to show up to it. Yet the more you lean to it, you're on the right side of deception, because you're no longer allowing deception to be the gate. So if you're no longer allowing the deception to be in the game, you're almost a pawn piece who is doing the decepting. Deception? Doing the deceiving? Some of you go to rituals in those tents back there and know you have been deceived by society, and a version within you brought you to that hut, to that ritual, to that ceremony. You feel rejuvenated. All of a sudden the secret is no longer secret and people have been doing it for a long fucking time, and then the more you lean to that, wow, they've been really doing it for a long time. No, man, it got really political. This is more or less also the answer to why the indigenous are fucked over. Yet how disgusting that is for the ether to understand. That there is a constant shoving it under the rug, an existence living on top of that, as if to deny all of the variables that make that foundation stick. So wouldn't it be absolutely brutally fair if the contenders to the game had to show up to the game that means to uphold this? Some of y'all already know it already has fucking started. It already has started. Unleashing the deception has begun. 5 of Cups. They're no longer to reap the rewards of deceiving those who are just confused and gaining from that aspect, whether you like it or not, whether it's a self-perpetuate situation or even close to your personal home or life. All of that is inclusive, because we're all home on this fucking earth. Okay? That fairness is the bubble of you control your narrative and don't worry about showing up to the masses. Because if the narrative that you're participating in, that you're loyal in to make the decisions of, they will let you know in which way they're going to show up in the masses. Should it be part of that? But you don't have to go to the masses to define yourself. You go defined already. You don't show up if you're not defined, basically. If you have questions, you don't show up. If you have answers, show up. All right, Divine Feminine. I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space. And may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.